Hello everybody and welcome to another video. Now today I'm going to be looking at the band I was going to look at yesterday, but circumstances as they were, I made a different video for personal reasons. But today we're going to be looking at the band I was going to check out yesterday, a band called Redshift. Now I do know Redshift both musically and personally. I do actually know some of the members personally. They come from Barrow in Furness, where I used to live a short while back. So, you know, I do know some of the members of the band. I've spoken to the lead vocalist Stephen Booth many times. He used to organise some gigs down in Barrow. In fact, I played alongside Redshift at a gig in... I say alongside them, we were on the same playbill as Redshift in April when I played there with Thy Demise. And I even spoke to Stephen then, I believe. Now, like I said, I am familiar with their music. I think I've shared a stage with them a few times actually over the years, because I think I played gigs alongside them when I was in Repulsive Vision as well. So yeah, I am familiar with their music, although I've not actually listened to this new track. It's a new track they released called EON, which I saw they had released a couple of days ago, so I thought, I'd check it out. And yeah, so a little bit of information about the band. What little I can give to you is that Redshift formed in 2012 in Barrow in Furness, Cumbria, England. Initially, they started out as a purely instrumental band, which is something I didn't actually know. Although they eventually developed into a 5-piece ensemble band, they describe themselves as progressive/alternative metal. They do throw in like the odd sort of metalcore influence every now and then. They do mix it up quite a bit, and like I said, I have heard their music before. They are a very impressive band, and I do enjoy listening to them. Stephen, the vocalist, he's a very talented vocalist. I've heard him sing in varying styles. Actually, he's very talented vocalist. The bassist from the band, Mark Kirby, is also the bassist for Repulsive Vision, the band I used to be in, although he wasn't in the band when I was in there. But he is the current bassist for Repulsive Vision as well. So there we go. So we'll jump to this track. I've been waffling on for 3 minutes. It's a track called EON by Redshift. I don't unfortunately have any lyrics for the track, but we'll have a listen to the track and see what we get. So here we go. EON by Redshift. Let's have a look.
Isn't it funny how quickly
fantastic. Now, obviously, you might expect me to be a bit biased towards this band because obviously I do know them. You know, I've played alongside them. I know members of the band and stuff like that. But that was a fantastic piece of music. You know, and you know, I said before we even got into the track that I've heard Stephen, the vocalist, use several different styles, and he perfectly displayed his ability within that track, throwing in those surprise sort of harsher vocals right towards the end there, whereas throughout the most of the track he'd been fairly clean vocals, you know, again a mixture of styles of vocals, you know, and I've said constantly through my videos I do love it when bands mix up the vocal styles in their songs, and he does it perfectly, and he is, like I said, exceptional at all different styles of vocals I've ever heard him perform. He's very, very talented vocalist. But that piece of music, excuse me, that piece of music was amazing. You know, it was brilliantly performed. It had a really sort of raw, emotional feel to it as well. And you know, I kind of do wish I had some lyrics to have looked at, but I couldn't get hold of any. However, I was told that the song actually has two different meanings. Now, Stephen co-wrote this with another member of the band for some sections, and the song was something very important to the other writer. Something that he didn't feel he could specify, something he couldn't really share, and he didn't want to talk about what it was that inspired his view on the song. So, you know, it's got a very deep and personal meaning to this band member, which, you know, could kind of explain that really sort of raw emotional feel to the song. However, the second meaning to the song does come from Stephen himself, and he said it comes more from his own idea of letting go of people that you used to rely on, people that you used to trust, who now you sort of realise that this person is maybe not as trustworthy as you once thought they were. You know, maybe they've turned a bit sort of toxic. You can't really call them a friend anymore. You know, the sort of two-faced people, and it's sort of coming to the realisation, you know, that you need to let go of that person. You need to sort of separate yourself from them, because essentially they're essentially poisoning the way your life is at the moment. You know, you can't trust them anymore. You know, they're possibly talking about you behind your back, you know, that sort of thing. So you make the conscious choice to sort of remove them from your life, turn your back, and leave them behind for good. You know, so there, even in that definition of the song, it still has a sort of deep, impactful, emotional sort of feel that really goes well with the style of the song. And yeah, I really, really love that piece of music. It's quite a fairly long track. I think it's just over 7 minutes, if I remember correctly. But, you know, it's a very good song, very well performed. Absolutely loved it. And this is coming off an upcoming EP that's going to be released sometime in the near future, I believe. I think they have 2 or 3 other EPs that they have released. I'll put some links below to some of their other work in case you want to check it out. And I'll put the usual sort of link to their Facebook and stuff like that, should you want to check out the band or even follow them, because they are a very good band. I've very much enjoyed their music. I've always enjoyed watching them live, because, like I said, Stephen is quite something to behold in his vocal stylings, and all the other musicians, again, very, very talented people. So, yeah, we'll leave that as that is for the time being. So, yeah, brilliant. If anybody would like to suggest a track for me to react to, then please do so by all means. You can drop a comment in the comment section below, or message me on my Facebook or my Instagram, or you could even message me through my Patreon, where you could also help to support this channel, help me create future content, maybe even improve the quality of future content. There is also an option within Patreon where you can get your request jumped to the front of the queue, should you so desire. There are a couple of provisos that go along with that, however, to be fair to other people who suggest tracks through regular means, through Facebook and Instagram. If you do suggest a track through those regular means, do know it might take me a while to get around to that suggestion, since I get suggested so many new tracks every single day that my list of tracks grows faster than I can record the videos. But I do write down every suggestion I get, so it will get done eventually. It's just going to take me a while. Also, Metalhead Reacts is a very proud supporter of the Sophie Lancaster Foundation, a British-based charity whose main goal is to put an end to hate crimes, mainly those perpetrated against people of the alternative culture. Something I believe in very, very strongly, something I've had to deal with for a very large portion of my life. Well, basically 3/4 of my life. I've been dealing with it since I was about 10, 11 years old. And it's the fact that people all around the world, every single day, are getting violently attacked, brutally attacked, just purely for the fact that they listen to alternative music. You know, and we're not just talking about maybe the odd sort of bit of bullying. We're talking about, you know, full-on brutal assaults. You know, getting beaten to within an inch of their life. You know, sometimes getting hospitalised with like broken bones, and sometimes even more invasive injuries, like from being stabbed and such. You know, this happens every day all over the world, and it never gets spoken about. Nothing gets done about it because nobody cares, and that is something that needs to change. You know, every day we hear about all of these other hate crimes like sexism, racism, homophobia, transphobia, religious hatred, ableism. We hear about these every single day, from the most heinous of these crimes where someone is brutally murdered just because of the colour of their skin or their religion or their sexual preference, down to the most pathetic of these crimes where entitled Karen is phoning the police because a family of colour are having a picnic in a public space. You know, we hear every facet of these crimes every single day, but we don't hear a single word about these people that are getting brutally attacked because of their taste in music. Now, people have argued with me saying that this is not a hate crime, but it is. It is the very definition of a hate crime. You know, if you are violently attacking someone because you hate something about that person, whether it is the colour of their skin, their sexual preference, their sexual identity, their taste in music, or the colour of their skin, that is a hate crime. If you're attacking someone because you hate something about that person, that is a hate crime. And the last time that anything like this ever got mentioned in the media was about 12 to 13 years ago, when Sophie Lancaster and her boyfriend Rob Maltby were violently attacked by a group of 5 or 6 people. And they were brutally attacked, brutally beaten, kicked, punched. They had their heads stamped on and were beaten so violently that both of them ended up in a coma. Now, Rob Maltby, he did survive, thankfully. He was in a coma for just a little bit over a week, I think it was. Can't remember exactly how long it was. But Sophie Lancaster was in a coma for 13 days before she succumbed to her injuries and died. This young girl, she was 20 at the time, was beaten to death just purely for the fact that she listened to alternative music. And this sort of thing goes on all the time. And the reason we don't hear anything about it is because nobody died, and that is disgusting. It's very core. We shouldn't have to wait for someone to die before this subject gets spoken about. You know, people are getting violently attacked, brutally beaten, and something needs to be done. We need to bring more attention to the fact that this is happening, because the people perpetrating these crimes are essentially just getting away with it. You know, and this is what the Sophie Lancaster Foundation is all about. They want to bring more attention to the fact that this is happening, so we can then do something about it. We can put a stop to it. We can prevent it from ever happening again. Because we can't let what happened to Sophie Lancaster ever happen again. It should never have happened in the first place. You know, they don't want to see another family go through what they went through when they had to watch their daughter slowly die over the course of 2 weeks because of the actions of a group of small-minded idiots who couldn't accept the fact that not everybody likes the same music. I mean, you don't attack people because they like different movies and TV shows to you. You don't attack people because they like different flavour crisps or they read different magazines or books to you. So why is music a trigger point that makes people want to attack you? It makes no sense. It is very stupid on the face of it. It makes no sense. And something needs to be done. So if you'd like to find out more about the Sophie Lancaster Foundation, there is a link to their website in the description below. You can pop over there, find out what they're working on at the moment, find out what their main goal is, because they can explain it a lot better than I can. And if you can help them out in any small way, obviously don't feel obligated to do so, but if you can help them out in any small way, you know, whether it's a small donation through their website or something like one of these Sophie wristbands off their web store, you know, the smallest amount can make a biggest difference. And the sooner we get more people talking about this, the sooner we take more action against it, the sooner we can help to stamp out prejudice, hatred, and intolerance everywhere. But I'm going to leave that as it is for the time being. Thank you all very, very much for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.